You thought you were paying a lovely compliment, but your British host looks absolutely horrified. Why? Because the word quite is a linguistic trap that can turn a rave review into a devastating insult. Today, we are decoding the secret British rules of quite, so you never accidentally offend your friends or fail your IELTS speaking test again. And I'm Emily. Welcome back to Fluent English Daily. Let's make your English feel natural. John, you looked so confused before we started.
I really was. I spent 2 hours making that pasta. When my friend said it was quite good, I thought I was a hero. I thought she meant it was amazing.
I see. That's the big trap with the word quite. It's like a social hand grenade. You think you're throwing a flower, but it's actually a little bomb.
A bomb? Wow, that sounds serious. Is that why I saw that viral video from that 2026 series last night? You know, the one called The London Flat?
Oh, I saw that too. The scene where Mark tells Sarah her new painting is quite nice.
Yes, Sarah just stopped talking. She looked so hurt. There was this long, awkward silence. I was sitting on my sofa thinking, why is she angry? He said it's nice.
Aha! That is because of cross-cultural communication. In the US, if I say a movie is quite good, I usually mean I really liked it. It's a booster. It makes the word stronger.
Right, like very.
Exactly. But in the UK, it's often a dampener. It's like saying, it's okay, but it's nothing special. It's a classic example of British understatement.
So he was actually being a bit rude without knowing it?
Gently, he thought he was being polite, but to her, it felt like faint praise. That's a trap, John. If you say a meal is quite good to a British host, they might think you didn't really like it.
Oh no, I need to call my friend and apologize. But wait, Emily, sometimes I hear people use quite, and it sounds like they mean totally, like quite right or quite perfect.
Wow, John, you have a great ear for linguistic nuances. You're right, the word quite has two faces. We call them the totalizer and the moderator.
Totalizer? That sounds like a robot from a movie.
It does, but it just means it makes the word total or complete. This happens when we use quite with words that are ungradable.
What does ungradable mean?
Well, think of the word perfect. Can something be very perfect or a little bit perfect?
No, it's either perfect or it isn't.
Exactly. Or the word impossible. You can't have something that is very impossible. So when we use quite with these words, like quite perfect or quite amazing, it means completely.
Ah, I see. So quite perfect is a good thing. It means 100% perfect.
Right. But when you use it with gradable words like good, nice, or interesting, words that can be a little or a lot, it becomes the moderator. It means somewhat.
So quite good is actually less than good?
In the UK, often yes. It's like saying, it's fine, I guess.
Wow, this is more complicated than I thought. How can I tell the difference when I'm listening?
It's all about the intonation, John, the way the voice moves.
Really? Like the music of the sentence?
Exactly. Let's try an experiment. Listen to my voice. The show was quite good.
You sounded disappointed. Your voice was a bit flat at the end.
Right. That flat pitch means it was just okay. Now listen to this. The show was quite good.
Oh, you put the stress on the word quite, and your voice went up.
Aha! When the stress is on quite and the pitch is high, it's usually a positive booster. But if the stress moves to the adjective, like it was quite good, and the voice stays flat, well, that's the British eyebrow raise.
I can actually picture the eyebrow raise. It's like they're being polite, but they're secretly judging you.
Exactly. It's very subtle. Even AI speech models in 2026 are still struggling to get that pitch right every time.
This feels like high stakes. Imagine using quite in a job interview.
That's a very good point. In fact, the 2026 IELTS marking criteria now look for this precision of nuance. If an examiner asks if you're excited about a project and you say, "I'm quite interested," they might think you don't really care.
No way, even in a professional setting?
Yes. Imagine you're in an interview. The boss asks, "Do you like working in a team?" And you say, "Yes, it's quite nice."
To a British boss, that sounds like you hate it, but you're trying to be nice.
Exactly. It signals a lack of enthusiasm. You should probably avoid quite in those moments if you want to sound excited.
Okay, so what should I say instead? I don't want to make people think I'm bored.
I have a safe list of alternative intensifiers for you. These are much better for avoiding cross-cultural friction.
Oh, I like that. What's on the list?
Instead of quite, try using thoroughly. For example, "I thoroughly enjoyed the meal."
Thoroughly. That sounds very professional and clear.
It is. Or you can use exceptionally, like "The service was exceptionally good."
Exceptionally. That leaves no doubt. It means it was great.
Right. And if you want to be simple, just use really or extremely. These words don't have those two faces. They're always boosters.
That is much safer. I think I will stick to really for a while until I master the British accent and the eyebrow raise.
That's a smart move. It's all about mastering the native mindset. In Britain, people use these adverb modifiers to be soft and polite. They don't like to be too direct.
So instead of saying, I don't like this, they say, it's quite interesting?
Precisely. It's a polite rejection. It's a way to say no without being mean.
Wow, I've learned so much today. I thought quite was just a simple word from my textbook.
It's never just a word, John. It's a tool for connection. Let's see if you can spot it now. I'm going to give you a little test.
A test? Already?
Don't worry, it's a friendly one. If I tell you, "John, your podcasting skills are quite remarkable," am I being mean or nice?
Remarkable is an ungradable word, right? Like perfect?
Aha, you remembered.
So that means you mean I am completely remarkable. That's a totalizer.
Spot on. You're a natural at this.
Wow, I feel much better now. I was worried I was offending everyone I met.
Not at all. It just takes a little bit of practice to see the patterns. We actually have a downloadable guide for this, you know.
Really? What is it called?
It's the British versus American modifier map. It shows you exactly which words change meaning when you cross the ocean.
I need that map. It's like a GPS for my mouth.
Exactly. It helps ensure clarity in your next international conversation. No more social hand grenades.
I'm definitely going to use thoroughly tonight when I go to dinner. I want my friends to know I love their food.
That's a great idea. It's so important to be clear about how we feel. These linguistic nuances are what make a language alive.
I agree. It's like learning the secret codes of a new culture.
It really is. And once you know the codes, you feel so much more safe and confident when you speak.
You know, Emily, I was thinking, what about other words like this? Are there more social bombs out there?
Oh, plenty. But don't worry, we'll walk through them one by one. The key is to keep listening and keep noticing those small changes in tone.
I'm ready. This is actually this is really fun.
Nice save, John. You're learning fast.
Thanks. I'm starting to feel like I can handle a conversation in London now.
I think you can. Just remember to watch the eyebrows and listen for that high pitch.
I will. This has been such a help. I feel much more comfortable already.
I'm so glad. That's what we're here for. Small steps every day lead to big changes in how you speak.
Definitely. I can't wait to see what's next.
Well, speaking of what's next, we have something very special coming up. We've talked about the words, but what about the silences between the words?
The silences? There's a secret code for silence, too?
Oh, you have no idea. Silence can say more than 1,000 words, especially in different cultures. So, John, before we go deeper into the two faces of the word quite, let's take a little time to look at some of the big ideas we are talking about today. I think it is a good idea to review some special expressions we used.
Oh, that is a very good idea, Emily. I definitely need to understand why my pasta was such a disaster in my friend's eyes. I thought I was being a great cook, but then that word quite appeared and everything changed.
I know, it can be very confusing. Let's start with a big one. It is called British understatement. Have you heard of this before?
I have heard the word understatement before. Does it mean saying something is smaller than it really is?
Exactly. You are exactly right. In British culture, people often don't like to show too much emotion. They don't always use big words like amazing, fantastic, or incredible. Instead, they make things sound smaller. That is British understatement.
Wow. So if I see a beautiful sunset, a British person might not say it is the most beautiful thing ever.
Right. They might just say, it's not bad, is it?
Not bad. But that sounds like it is just okay. Like it is just a 5 out of 10.
Aha, that is the secret. In Britain, not bad often means it's actually very good. It's like a secret code. They use a small, boring phrase to describe something wonderful.
That is so funny. I remember when I first moved to London, it was raining so hard. I mean, the rain was like a waterfall. The streets were like rivers. I was so wet and cold. I met my neighbor at the door, and he just looked at the rain and said, "It's a bit wet out there, isn't it?"
Oh, that is the perfect example. A bit wet. That is a classic British understatement. He knew it was a storm, but he chose a small word.
I see. So, when my friend said my pasta was quite good, she was using this British understatement. She was making it sound smaller.
Yes, but with quite, it is even more tricky. We will talk about that soon, but first, let's look at our second term, linguistic nuances.
Ooh, that's a long word. Linguistic nuances. Can you explain that one, Emily?
Of course, linguistic just means about language, and a nuance is a very, very small difference. Think about the color blue. You have light blue, sky blue, and dark blue. They are all blue, but the differences are small. Those are nuances.
Ah, I see. So, in language, it's about those tiny changes that change the whole meaning.
Exactly, like the way you say a word or the small word you choose to put before a description. These linguistic nuances are like the spices in your pasta, John.
Oh, I like that. A little bit of salt or a little bit of pepper makes a big difference in the taste.
Precisely. If you use the wrong nuance, the person listening might get the wrong idea. It's like putting sugar on your pasta instead of salt.
Oh, wow. That would be a very bad nuance. Okay, so linguistic nuances are the tiny details that change how people feel about what we say.
Right, and that leads us to our third big idea, intonation.
I know this one. Intonation is about how our voice goes up and down when we speak, right?
Yes, you got it. It's like the music of our language.
The music of our language. I like that. So if my voice goes up at the end, it's a question.
Exactly, but with quite, intonation is everything. If I say it was quite good with a high, happy voice, it sounds positive. But if I say it was quite good with a flat, low voice,
Then it sounds like you hated it.
well, maybe not hated, but definitely disappointed, your voice tells the listener the truth, even if the word is the same.
So I need to listen not just to the words, but to the music of the voice.
Yes, exactly. That's what helps us understand the hidden meaning.
Wow, there's so much to learn. It feels like I'm a detective.
You are a language detective, John. And the last thing we should talk about is cross-cultural communication.
Okay, let me try to guess this one. Cross-cultural means between two different cultures, right? Like American culture and British culture.
Exactly. And communication is just how we talk and understand each other. So, cross-cultural communication is the study of how people from different places talk differently.
I see. So an American might say, I love this, and a British person might say, this is quite good. They both mean they like it, but they say it differently because of their culture.
Right. And if the American doesn't understand the British culture, he might think the British person is being mean or cold. That is why cross-cultural communication is so important. It helps us avoid being hurt or confused.
Like I was with my pasta. My friend is British, and I'm used to more American style talking, where everything is great and awesome.
Exactly. To you, quite sounded like a big booster. To her, it was a dampener. It was a classic cross-cultural mix-up.
Ha ha! I feel so much better now. It wasn't my cooking that was the problem, it was the cross-cultural communication.
Well, maybe a little bit of both, but mostly the communication.
Hey, I put a lot of work into that sauce.
I know you did, John. But this is why we are here, to learn these things so we can be better friends to people from all over the world.
It's really interesting. It's not just about grammar or long lists of words. It's about how we connect with people.
Exactly. It's about feeling safe and comfortable when we talk. When you know these small things, these nuances, you feel more confident.
I do. I feel more confident already. I'm not as worried about the word quite anymore. I mean, I still want to learn how to use it right, but I understand why it happened.
That's the spirit. You are doing so well.
Thanks, Emily. I'm really enjoying this. I hope everyone listening is feeling more confident too.
I hope so too. If you are enjoying this, please do subscribe to our podcast. We have so many more stories and tips to share with you.
Yes, and you can sign up for our newsletter too. We send out little tips every week to help you with your English.
It's a great way to keep learning every day. Now, John, are you ready to look at the two faces of the word quite?
The two faces, like a superhero and a villain?
Exactly. One face is very strong, and the other is, well, it's a bit weak. We call them the Totalizer and the Moderator.
Oh, those sound like very fancy words.
Don't worry, they are actually very simple once we look at them. It's all about how quite changes depending on the word that comes after it.
I'm ready. Let's do it. I want to know if I can ever use quite to mean something is perfect.
Well, that is actually exactly what we are going to talk about next. It all depends on whether the word is gradable or ungradable.
Okay, you're using big words again, Emily, but I trust you. Let's go.
Okay, let's take a deep breath and look at how quite can be your best friend or your worst enemy in a conversation.
I'm ready. Let's dive in.
Now that we understand the words, John, let's try something fun. It is one thing to know the meaning, but it is another thing to feel the meaning.
I agree. I need to feel it so I don't make another cooking mistake.
Exactly. This is why we are going to do some shadowing practice. I will say a sentence, and I want you to repeat it after me. I will use the word quite in different ways. Are you ready?
I am ready. I have my coffee and I am listening carefully.
Great. Let's start with the positive way. In this sentence, quite means completely or totally. This is what we call a totalizer. Listen to my voice. That is quite perfect.
That is quite perfect.
Good. Now let's do it again. Focus on the word perfect. Because perfect is already at 100%, adding quite just means totally. Repeat after me. That is quite perfect.
That is quite perfect.
Aha! I can hear the smile in your voice.
It feels good to say. It sounds like I am very happy with something.
It does. Now, John, let's try the other side. This is the part that is a bit tricky. This is the British understatement. In this version, quite makes the next word weaker. It's like a dampener. Listen to the difference. The meal was quite good.
The meal was quite good.
Try to make your voice a bit flatter. Don't sound too excited. In Britain, if someone says this, they might mean it was just okay, not great, just okay. Try again. The meal was quite good.
Okay, I see. The meal was quite good.
Yes, that's it. You sound exactly like my friend from London when she doesn't want to be mean, but she didn't really enjoy the food.
Wow, it really is all about the feeling, isn't it? One way sounds like a celebration, and the other sounds like a polite rejection.
Exactly, John. These are the linguistic nuances that make English so interesting. It's not just the word, it's the way the word lives in the sentence.
So, if I'm in a job interview and I say, I am quite interested in this job, could that be a problem?
Oh, that is a very good question. Yes, it could be. If the interviewer thinks you are using it as a moderator, they might think you are only somewhat interested. It might lack enthusiasm.
Oh no, I would never want that.
Don't worry, that is why we practice. Let's try a better way for a job interview. Let's use a safe word. Repeat after me. I am thoroughly interested in this role.
I am thoroughly interested in this role.
Much better. That word thoroughly is very strong. It has no hidden negative meaning.
I like that word. It feels safe. Let's try one more for cross-cultural communication. Let's practice the difference in intonation.
Good idea. Intonation is like the music of our speech. Listen to this. The movie was quite interesting.
The movie was quite interesting.
Notice how I paused. That pause is a signal. It means I'm choosing my words carefully because I don't want to say it was bad.
Ah, like the British eyebrow raise you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. It's the silent part of the conversation. Now, try to say it with a high pitch on quite, like this. It was quite amazing.
It was quite amazing.
Perfect. When you put the stress on quite and use a high pitch, it becomes a booster again. You are telling the world you loved it.
This is so helpful, Emily. I never knew that adverb modifiers could be so complicated.
They can be, but you're doing a great job. It's all about the native mindset. In Britain, people often avoid being too direct. They use understatement to be polite.
I think I'm starting to understand. If someone says it's quite a long way, they probably mean it's very far and they're tired of walking.
Aha, you've got it. You're learning the secret code.
I see. I need to listen for that flat pitch. If the voice is flat, the meaning is small. If the voice is excited, the meaning is big.
Precisely. That is the gold rule for the word quite.
Wow, I feel much better now. I feel like I have a map for this word.
I'm so glad, John. This kind of precision of nuance is actually something they look for in big tests like the IELTS. They want to see if you can understand these small changes in meaning.
Really? So this helps with my exams too?
Absolutely. It shows you really understand how native English speakers think and feel.
Well, I am quite happy we're doing this today, and I mean that in the 100% way.
I can hear it in your voice, John. You used a high pitch and a big smile. That was perfect.
Thanks, Emily. This is really helping me feel more confident.
You should be proud. Learning these cross-cultural communication skills is what makes a good speaker a great speaker.
So, what's next? I want to make sure I don't miss any other social hand grenades.
Well, we have a lot more to talk about. We need to look closer at how the sounds we make, the intonation, can change everything, even when we don't change the words.
Oh, like how a or a wow can change a sentence?
Exactly. We're going to dive deep into the stealth power of intonation in our next part. It's like the secret engine of the English language.
I can't wait. I'm ready to learn the secret engine.
Me too. But before we go there, I want everyone listening to take a deep breath. Think about a time you used the word quite. Was it a booster or a dampener?
That's a good question. I'm going to think about that too.
Good. Stay with us, everyone. We're just getting started with these linguistic nuances. John, are you ready to look at some AI speech models to hear the difference?
AI speech models? Wow, that sounds high-tech. Let's do it.
It's going to be very interesting. We will hear exactly how a machine tries to sound polite and how it can sometimes get it wrong.
If a machine can get it wrong, I feel better about my pasta mistake.
Don't worry, John. We're all learning together. Let's move on to the next part and hear the power of the pitch.
I am ready.
Wow, John, you are getting much better with your intonation. Practice really helps, doesn't it?
Thank you, Emily. It is tricky, but I'm starting to see how the word quite changes everything. It's all about those linguistic nuances, right? I feel like I'm learning a secret code.
Exactly. It's a big part of cross-cultural communication. When we speak a new language, we need to know how these small words feel. Now, before we move on, I want to ask our listeners a question. This is our question of the day.
Oh, I love this part. I want to hear from everyone. What is the question for today, Emily?
Our question for you is, have you ever used the word quite and someone misunderstood what you meant? Or maybe someone said it to you and you felt confused?
Like my pasta story. That was a very big misunderstanding. I felt so proud, but my friend was just being polite in a British way.
Yes, just like that. Let's look at 5 ways our listeners might answer this question. These are some common examples.
Okay, I'm listening. Let's hear them.
First, maybe someone said, I told my friend her new dress was quite pretty, but she looked sad. I thought I was being nice.
Aha! She probably thought it was only okay and not beautiful. What is the second one?
Second, in a job interview, I said the role was quite interesting. The manager didn't call me back. I think I sounded like I didn't care.
Oh, that is a high-stakes mistake. Third?
Third, I told my mom her dinner was quite good. She looked disappointed and didn't offer me more. I was still hungry.
That is a sad dinner story. What about the fourth one?
Fourth, I said the movie was quite long. My friends thought I hated it, but I actually liked the story very much.
And the last one?
Fifth, I told my teacher the lesson was quite clear. He looked worried because he thought I needed him to explain it again.
Wow, it really is a social hand grenade. We should all be careful. Please share your stories with us on our page. We want to hear your experiences.
We really do. It helps all of us learn. Now, John, are you ready to hear the difference in sound?
Yes, I want to know more about the pitch.
Perfect. Next, we will listen to some AI voices to hear how your voice changes the meaning of quite. It has been such a lovely chat. We talked about how the word quite can be tricky, didn't we?
Yes, we did. It is amazing how much one word can change a whole story. I learned that British understatement is really a thing.
It really is. But please, don't worry too much about making mistakes. Learning these linguistic nuances takes a little time and practice.
That makes me feel much better. Using the right intonation is like playing music. It adds a special feeling to the words.
Exactly. You are doing a great job. Whether you use adverb modifiers to be clear or to be polite, just keep trying and be yourself.
Thank you, Emily. And thank you everyone for listening today. This cross-cultural communication is fun.
It is. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye. See you soon.
Congratulations on making it all the way through the lesson with Emily and John. If you found this video helpful, Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right in the center of your screen so you never miss our next lesson. You can also check out more videos right over here on the left or right side. We've picked them just for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.